Hi, Patrick Russell, EA, coming back to you from mmtaxman.com studios. In today's episode, we're going to change it up again, just a little bit. Today we're going to be spotlighting what we like to call in the office the extra conscientious taxpayer. These taxpayers are tough-minded people who work very hard for their money and will work even harder to keep from paying a dime in taxes. These individuals are on average keen with college education, have professional careers, and are high income earners, and are very, very crafty. The only downside to these individuals, they do have very high expectations. Expectations that need to be managed. To say these individuals are diligent, that's one way of saying it. To say that these individuals are hopeful, that's another way of saying it. To say that these individuals are just throwing mental darts at an IRS dartboard, hoping to hit a bullseye? Maybe. As a tax consultant, personally, my tax season is filled with annual visits from a variety of extra conscientious taxpayers. It's just part of the job. To get a much clearer picture of this type of person, I was able to dig into our mmtaxman.com video archives, and I was able to pull up a recent interview on a tax case I worked with a new client, Kimberly. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, I believe this actual footage of an actual client interview will prove to be very enlightening. See for yourself. Thanks for coming in today. We really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to work with you this year. And on a referral, no less, we love new clients that come from the word of mouth. Tell me a little bit about yourself and give me a little bit of a lay of the land of what happened to you last year.
Hello, Mr. Russell. My name is Kimberly, and I'm here to see if you can assist me with my personal income taxes. I have a really high paid position in the company that I'm currently working for, and I'm making so much money. I need your advice in what's the best way to maximize my expenses because I want to pay the lowest taxes possible. My fiance CPA mentioned all these credits, and I want to see if you can assist me with this.
I'll be more than happy to assist you.
What about the adoption credit?
Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't even know you had a child. Did you adopt somebody last year?
No, but what about if I adopted a puppy?
Well, did you adopt a puppy last year?
No, can I say I did? Will that help?
No. And have you ever heard of the word karma?
How about the foreign earned income tax credit?
Oh, did you work out of the country last year?
No, but I went to Spain on vacation. Will that help? What about child tax credit, babysitter credit, or income tax credit?
Same problem. Need a kid.
How about gambling losses?
Thought you said you were Mormon.
I hope you don't mind, Patrick. I just want to make sure I hit every single credit. Let me go down my list. How about the credit for tax on undistributed capital gain? The credit for prior alternative minimum tax, the credit for energy efficient property, the credit for elderly or disabled. How about the credit for manufacturing appliances?
Nope. No. 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 Without a doubt, Kimberly, we've gone through the entire Internal Revenue Code book and we've examined every credit and every deduction that exists today. Tell me, are you satisfied with your tax return?
Definitely, Mr. Russell. I trust you. Plus, I just ran out of tequila and my laptop just died.
Thank you, Kimberly. And thank you to all our extra conscientious clients. Here at mmtaxman.com, rest assured, we spend the off-season training and staying up to date on all the latest changes to tax rules and regulations, especially any changes to those home run deductions and credits that would affect the majority of our clients in a good way. Because at mmtaxman.com, we always want to be ready to let you know exactly why that credit or write-off just doesn't apply to you. Segwaying to Today in History. Mark this date, people. President Trump got the memo. There is little time left between now and the election, but there is no question the script has been flipped. Inside President Trump's campaign circle, he brought in off the bench a few old faces from his winning 2016 team. And believe me, this crew is cut from the same cloth as POTUS. Cutthroat? Oh yeah. And they believe in winning at any cost, including completely flip-flopping on every single definable stance POTUS has had regarding COVID-19. The rest of my memo reads a little like this. Don't do any daily coronavirus briefings. You can't teach empathy. And as much as possible, you need to keep POTUS from being trapped in front of a camera and microphone where he could be asked that truly devastating question by a reporter of, do you care? Instead, push for head-to-head debates as fast as you can. Let's face it, we don't need an acuity test to tell us that Grandpa Joe better get his nap in or he starts forgetting things. A bully like Trump thrives on puns and hyperboles on camera, and Sleepy Joe can easily be bulldozed right before our eyes. People, we have to realize something very important. We are facing a unique, nay, a historical situation right at our doorstep. Something that goes beyond this election. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Ginsburg. Respect. But the experts are running the numbers, and those charts are saying that our current sitting president has a solid chance of putting on the bench his third appointee. Wow. Every true conservative, I mean the ones that feel it right here, will feel compelled to vote for Trump. This is history, people. And even if you don't like the man, you can't deny this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The powers that be, the ones that get off knowing they affected the course of history, this is simply too great of an opportunity of securing on the back end the entire conservative agenda. And with the orange one drawing the blueprint of how to handle those pesky challenges to presidential authority. Just sue, baby. And don't take no for an answer until you get in front of those said Supreme Court justices, and then let the chips fall where they may. The precedence for a conservative president acting and looking more like a king is being shaped right now. That's happening today in our history. And now, segueing to click that exit button, movie of the day. Returning back to Netflix and returning back to the original purpose of this piece, I submit to you, The Wrong Missy. It didn't take me long at all, like the first scene, before Lauren Lupkus, that wacky female lead, went total Jim Carrey on me with her physical comedy, going real hard on those facial expressions. I mean real hard, like they were guided missiles meant to hit your eyes and make it cringe. Her antics in the first 5 minutes destroyed any chance of me getting past the opening bar scene where we meet her and the unfortunate co-star to this debacle, David Spade. David's straight man sidekick routine only works when the actor he's a sidekick to is any good. Well, Lauren Lapkus is no Chris Farley. She's not even a Rod Schneider. So save yourself the time. I wish I did. Segueing to the song of the day. In today's song of the day, I present Let the Good Times Roll by Jimmy Allen with a little help from the deep down dirty South hip hopper, Nelly. This is a crossover song if there ever was one, fusing country with some deep South R&B rhythm, and it hits smoothly on both sides. Whether your day includes keeping your grill bright or making sure you're getting all the mud off your truck tires, this song will brighten your day. The first couple of notes is all you need to realize you're listening to a drinking song. It's always a special moment for me when I come across and discover a fresh and fun new drinking song. I love this song because it transcends traditional boundaries, skewing what we think we know is country and what we think we know as R&B and hip hop. You can't help but be reminded of Lil Nas and Old Town Road, right? That's just a little taste of what this song sounds like without me having to pay for the copyrighted material. Good Times Roll sends us a clear message of how music is evolving and traditional definitions aren't always going to be good enough. Good times roll, definitely worth a listen. And now to our book of the day. Today, I'm not just going to highlight one particular book because there's an author I really want to share with you. He's no stranger to the literary world, and I'm not saying a name you haven't heard many times before, but I want to celebrate this author and point out just how important he's been in my life. I'm talking about Malcolm Gladwell. I'm talking about the author of such masterful pieces like Blink, The Tipping Point, David and Goliath, and What the Dog Said. What does Malcolm write about? He's part literature professor, part social scientist, part historian, and part humorist. Essentially, Malcolm's books challenges the social constructs we, as a society, take for granted and rarely ever challenge. Malcolm challenges those constructs for us. His writing makes us realize that this world isn't necessarily what we think it is. For instance, in his book, David and Goliath, Mr. Gladwell challenges the notion of a Goliath, this insurmountable force never to be defeated. But on closer inspection, Malcolm shares with us numerous anecdotes that makes for a compelling argument that some Goliaths are actually the most vulnerable actors of the play, with the David actor turning out, upon closer inspection, to be the more advantageous force in the play. In his book, The Tipping Point, Malcolm explains how it's usually the smallest, nuanced moment or force that spurs the huge and everlasting change of our lives. In his book, Blink, which happens to be the first book of Malcolm I've read, once again, he challenges the notion that the biggest ideas, and consequently the biggest decisions made, are from this deep and timely introspection. Apparently, not true. Based on Malcolm's considerable analysis, he came to the conclusion that it's quite the opposite, that it is, in fact, the blink of the moment rationale that is usually responsible for the pivotal decisions that we make in and for our lives. What makes Malcolm different? His writing style. It's smooth, clear, it's easy to digest. His prose is both familiar and technical, yet his writing style is both humorous and packed with intuitive wisdom. It just makes you feel, after reading him, that you're just a smarter person. Malcolm Gladwell taught me that no matter how much I think I know an idea, that should never stop me or us from challenging the premises of those ideas, making sure that we are all truly on the right path for our life. Although any book from Malcolm Gladwell will be sure to entertain, as well as to enlighten, I personally recommend his first two books, The Tipping Point and Blink. These two books are a good entry point to the world of Mr. Gladwell, and I think you'll be glad you paid him a visit. You already know my team is hard at work on our next episode. We're always experimenting and trying new things and bringing onto the show new characters to help put that point across. As always, I thank you for your time. I hope to see you again. Take care.